monthly checks for the low income. This is promising. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now monthly checks is a topic we've been covering here on the channel for quite a few years. It's also a topic that's gaining a lot of popularity around the entire country. Monthly checks, otherwise known as guaranteed basic income, which is essentially an ongoing monthly payment specifically focused on the low income, which is also no strings attached. The best of all the worlds, which is an ongoing payment where you can do anything you want with it. You can save it, you can spend it, literally doesn't matter at all. Well, in this video, I want to discuss all the details about this, some new information that just hit the wire, and why this is looking very promising across the entire country for ongoing monthly checks specifically focused on the low income. Let's get into it and discuss all the details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as I am your one and only daily advocate. I am here for you every single day, right by your side, watching all this new information hitting the wire every single day, all the announcements, the updates, and new information, doing all the necessary research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what is actually going on and how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course pointing out anything that is including money, checks, programs, raises to benefits, stimulus, or anything else out there right now that you can possibly grab or get your hands on as a low income or fixed income beneficiary. I truly want to help you out in any way that I possibly can. So again, please make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward. And let's get into it and talk about the latest information on monthly checks and what you need to know about this very important topic, and again, these programs that are all around the country right now. So as we've talked about so many times over the last few years, there are numerous guaranteed basic income programs popping up all around the country right now. So I've been talking about them for quite a few years now. They continue to pop up. Here's what's interesting about it. So California happens to be one of the most popular states for these guaranteed basic income programs. Now again, really quickly here, I'm just using California as an example. These programs are all around the country right now. A lot of different states have these programs. So again, it's not just California. I'm just using this as an example. California has numerous guaranteed basic income programs. However, I do want to point something out for you because this is interesting, because California is now going to be doing something that again is probably going to be leading the way for the rest of the country, just like they've done previously with some of their other guaranteed basic income programs. So just hear me out on this for a second. And again, I'm using California as an example, but this is going to be likely the example that we're going to be seeing showing up all across the country, just like what we saw back in late 2019 when the very first guaranteed basic income program popped up in Stockton, California. And now here we are, as of right now, with over 60 of these guaranteed basic income programs all across the country. So in just a couple years' time, we went from 0 programs to over 60 of them right now, sending out ongoing monthly checks that can usually range from anywhere between $500, $700, and even over $1,000 in some cases, going out to millions of low-income people. Pretty important, right? I would have to say so. So with that being said, let's talk about what California is now doing. So again, just using California as an example, but again, I would not be surprised one bit to see this popping up all across the entire country. So here's what California is doing. They have found that these guaranteed basic income programs are so incredibly popular, the state of California is going to be offering grants to different cities around the state of California, offering them $35 million to start up these guaranteed basic income programs in their different specific localities and their cities. So basically, the state of California is taking some of their $97 billion surplus that they have on their books, and they're offering cities $35 million to basically set up these guaranteed basic income programs. Does it sound a little bit familiar? Just like maybe what the federal government would do across the entire country in all these different states and localities, saying, hey, we're the federal government. We have essentially unlimited amounts of money. We will offer, however many millions of dollars to all these states, localities, cities, counties, all these things like this across the entire country to set up these guaranteed basic income programs. We've been talking about this for a very long time now, and realistically, we're seeing it starting to play out right here, right now, with this example out of California. So here's what they also found from the guaranteed basic income program that popped up in Stockton, California back in late 2019. Here's what they found. When the program actually started, 28% of the recipients that were receiving the ongoing monthly checks were working full-time. By the time that the program ended, just a short time later, well, after people were getting checks for an ongoing basis, 40% of people that were receiving those checks were working full time. So what does this tell us? Here's what it tells us. It found out that from this program, they found that this money that was going out on an ongoing monthly basis was basically helping these people maybe find childcare, maybe find transportation, maybe help their situation a little bit better, and therefore they were actually, taking that extra money that they were receiving on a monthly basis, and they were taking it to do things so that they could actually work longer and more hours. Now, again, I'm not saying that these programs are dedicated to making people work. That's not what they're all about. These programs are helping the low income. That's all that they're really about. Like I said earlier, it's a no strings attached payment. Literally, you can do whatever you want with it. You can take the money and you can spend it. You can save it. You can buy a dog. You can buy a cat. You can buy shoes. You can buy clothes. You can buy a car. You can pay for gas, utilities. You can buy a house. It does not matter. You can do whatever you want with this money. That's the cool thing about it. No strings attached. In other words, anything you want. It does not matter one bit. But that was just one of the studies that they found while tracking all the people that were enrolled in that Stockton, California Guaranteed Basic Income program, back in 2019 for the duration of the program. They found this time and time again with all these other Guaranteed Basic Income programs all across the country, that they find that, wait, as we give people money, they're actually improving their situation in a huge, huge way, right? People are improving their living situations. Maybe they're moving into a bigger, nicer place. Maybe they're buying a car. Maybe they're paying down debts. Whatever it happens to be, it doesn't really matter. They're finding that their nutrition is also better because we all know right now that the money that you have right now, when you go out to the grocery store, are you taking that money and buying, a group or a little packet of asparagus and, a $5 bag of broccoli and $5 bag of salad? Probably not, right? What they're finding with all these, with what's going on right now is that since money is so tight for the vast majority of people, a lot of people are unfortunately not eating the way that they probably should be because, it's a lot easier to buy cheaper, maybe not as healthy foods because that's what actually, is being able to be paid for with the money that we have right now. So they're finding that with these programs, people are eating healthier and all kinds of different things, a lot of positive impacts as a result of these guaranteed basic income programs. So with that being said, it's looking very promising. What the state of California is now offering, the $35 million to these cities to pop up these guaranteed basic income programs, basically the state of California, they have a huge surplus of money. Like I said, about $97 billion is what they have on their books right now. They're peeling off some of that money, right? And they're offering it to all these different cities all around the state of California to start up these guaranteed basic income programs to essentially send out ongoing monthly checks for the low income. Amazing, right? Just like what I've been talking about here on the channel for quite a while now, which is I would not be shocked one bit at all to see a nationwide program pop up where basically the federal government steps up and says, okay, states, here's what we're going to do. We're going to offer you, X dollars and you can implement all these guaranteed basic income programs in your location. Maybe it's going to be based on population of the state or a variety of other factors, or maybe the federal government just simply steps up and says, okay, we're going to administer a nationwide guaranteed basic income program. Here's who's eligible for it. Anybody with an income under X, who has an income as an individual under, whatever happens to be, or a married couple with an income under, X dollars, whatever it happens to be. Same old thing. I wouldn't be shocked one bit to see a federal program popping up as well, just like what we've seen introduced out of the progressive representatives that we saw maybe, a little over a year ago. We saw that that bill that was introduced where they want to send out $1,200, $1,200 on an ongoing monthly basis for an individual that earns under $75,000 or $150,000 as a married couple. Again, a nationwide guaranteed basic income program, right? So this is exactly what was already introduced as well. So California is starting to demonstrate exactly what the federal government will probably likely do at some point. Exactly what California is playing. So California is basically like a small-scale example of exactly what the federal government will likely be doing here in this country as a nationwide guaranteed basic income program to help out the low-income and, of course, fixed-income beneficiaries. Here's what also is interesting. This report that I was reading about this, they were also talking about guaranteed basic income versus universal basic income. Here's the differences between them. Universal basic income basically just sends out a check to everybody within a certain location. For example, let's just say the state of, Texas, okay? I'm just making this up. I'm just giving a quick example of the state of Texas. So we could take the state of Texas. Let's just say, for example, a universal basic income program popped up in the state of Texas. Basically, every single resident of the state of Texas would get a check. That's basically what a guaranteed basic income, a universal basic income program is. It sends out a check on an ongoing monthly basis to virtually every single person. Does it help people out? Not really, because it's not a highly focused check. It helps everybody. Therefore, it doesn't really do anything for the low income. It basically just lifts everybody up, right? Well, that doesn't really help the situation. But what they're finding is that these ongoing guaranteed basic income programs are really helping out because these are highly focused programs that are sending out focused checks for the low income and, of course, the fixed income beneficiaries. So rather than sending out a big check to virtually every single person as a universal basic income program, they're sending out these focused checks as a guaranteed basic income program, a highly focused program, and they're finding, wait, rather than lifting everybody, why don't we just lift the low income and the fixed income? And they're finding, wow, it actually works. Whoa, what a brainiac idea, right? We all understand this one. We've all talked about this so many times before. If you just lift up the low income and the fixed income, then guess what? These people are kind of on more of a level playing field rather than just lifting the entire playing field, right? If you lift the entire playing field, everybody's still on the same level, right? It just didn't really do anything. But if you lift just the low income and fixed income, now all of a sudden, wait, everybody's lifted up to that level. And now everybody can kind of play a little bit more equally, right? So that's what they're finding with these guaranteed basic income programs. And again, not surprising. We've been talking about this for years. We've known this for a very long time. But this is what the studies are showing from these guaranteed basic income programs. Anyway, in my opinion, I would say this is actually pretty promising. Again, I know I'm using California as an example here in this video, but this is what California is now doing. And I would not be shocked one bit at all to see this coming on a federal program as well, a federal level, a nationwide level. And California is basically demonstrating this on the state level, a small scale level, but basically it's only a matter of time until the federal government steps in and basically says, all right, we're going to do the same thing on the nationwide level. Put your applications in, you know what I mean? So anyway, of course, as I do get more information on any of this information or anything else on monthly checks or are these guaranteed basic income programs that are popping up all around the country right now, of course, I'll be right here for you, breaking it all down, letting you know what's going on and how it may impact you or how you may be able to take advantage of some of these programs that are out there. Also, remember this. Last year, states, they got $350 billion from the federal government. Here's the thing. They need to spend the money or give it back by the end of 2024. Otherwise they have to give it back. So they need to spend it or give it back. Like I've said before in other videos, do you think if you had billions of dollars and you have a deadline of the end of the year 2024 to spend the money or give it back, would you spend it or would you give it back? I'm not sure about you, but I guarantee you I could find a way to spend it. I mean, let's be real with ourselves right now. Is any of that money going back? Highly doubt it. Maybe one or two states, maybe will give back a little bit. Highly doubt that. They're going to spend it and they're going to find a way to spend it, right? So like I've been saying for a while now, I wouldn't be shocked one bit to see many more of these guaranteed basic income programs popping up because that's one of the things they can do with this billions of dollars that they're all sitting on from the federal government last year, the $350 billion that went out. They can set up guaranteed basic income programs, and that's what a lot of states and cities and localities are doing all around the country. Anyway, got to keep an eye on all this stuff. You never know what's going on and what may be popping up that we can take advantage of. Either way, I'll continue watching it for you. So again, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any videos going forward. I'll continue to be here for you every single day, right by your side, bringing you the updates and letting you know what's going on and how it may impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, letting you know what's out there right now that we can take advantage of. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe down below, share the video, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one, enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the